Machiavelli, the patron saint of cold, calculating realpolitik. If ever there was a manual for how to seduce the masses with the illusion of virtue while secretly reveling in their fear and admiration for ruthlessness, it's the Prince. But don't be fooled by the surface veneer of political stability and stability. Beneath it all lurks a savage truth. People admire ruthlessness, yes. The very quality that makes you a monster in private life is lauded as strength in the public arena. Isn't that delightful? Let's start with the fundamental premise. Human beings are inherently weak, superficial, and craving of leaders who display unwavering resolve, no matter how brutal. Machiavelli, brilliant, cynical, and utterly devoid of any romantic illusions, knew this well. He understood that the crowd is easily captivated by the spectacle of power, especially when wielded with a cold, ruthless hand. They don't want a kind leader. They want a ruthless lion. They want someone who dares to do what others only dream of, who can crush opposition without mercy, and who does so with an unflinching gaze. Now, here's the twist. The people say they want kindness, justice, and fairness. But their true admiration lies in strength, in ruthlessness disguised as virtue. They admire the lion, not the lamb. And Machiavelli? He knew how to craft that illusion masterfully. Show them a ruler who's just, and they'll see weakness. Show them a ruler who's decisive, even brutal. Well, that's the one they'll follow, even if they secretly despise him. Because admiration for the ruthless leader isn't about morality. It's about the primal instinct to survive, to dominate, to feel secure under a strong ruler. Let's look at some of Machiavelli's more deliciously cold insights. It's better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Think about that for a moment. Not preferable, but better. Why? Because fear is a more reliable tool. People will tolerate being loved, but they'll turn on you. The moment love turns to indifference, fear keeps them in check. And what's more, they'll respect you for it. The admiration for the ruthless leader isn't just fear. It's a grudging respect, a recognition that he's willing to do what others wouldn't dare. And here's the real kicker. People want leaders who are ruthless. They crave power, even if they pretend to disdain it. They're secretly impressed by the leader who can wipe out opposition with a single stroke. They admire the cunning and the strength, sometimes more than they admire their own virtues. Consider the masses in history, cheering wildly for tyrants, dictators, and warlords. The admiration isn't subtle, it's visceral. Machiavelli also understood that appearances matter more than reality. You must be perceived as virtuous, just enough to maintain the illusion, but underneath, you're ruthless. People prefer a ruler who appears to be merciful, just and compassionate, because that's more palatable. But behind closed doors? That's where the real power lies. The leader who can switch from a smile to a slaughter without batting an eye is the one who truly commands respect. The crowd's admiration isn't about the morality of actions. It's about the spectacle of power. Knowledge is power, and power favors those who stay close to the source. Like, subscribe, and return to the chamber where truth hides in shadow. Now, let's talk about the psychology behind this admiration. People are weak, insecure, and desperate for security. They need to believe that their leader can annihilate threats before they become problems. Ruthlessness provides that illusion of omnipotence, of invincibility. And in their admiration, they project virtues onto the ruthless leader. courage, decisiveness, strength. They don't see the cruelty. They see the power. They don't see the manipulation. They see control. It's all very convenient, isn't it? And here's a little secret. The leader who masters this dark psychology doesn't need to be a monster every day. No, he just needs to be convincing. He must cultivate an image of virtue, even as he indulges in ruthlessness. The crowd's admiration is a fragile veneer, blown away with a whisper of cruelty or a display of strength. The true art lies in maintaining the illusion that they are the virtuous ones, the moral ones, while you, the ruler, navigate the murky waters of manipulation, deception, and ruthless pragmatism. In conclusion, Machiavelli's dark psychology isn't just a guide for rulers. It's a mirror. It reveals that beneath the veneer of civility, humans are primal, craving power and respect for strength. They admire ruthlessness because it reassures them, reminds them of their own fragility, their own insecurity. They want their leaders to be lions, not lambs, because in the end, everyone secretly despairs at the weakness they see in themselves. So, next time you meet someone who claims to despise ruthless leaders, remember, they're lying. Deep down, they secretly admire the very qualities they pretend to scorn. That's the dark psychology Machiavelli uncovered, and that's why his teachings remain relevant for those willing to look coldly and honestly at human nature. Because, after all, what's more admirable than the ability to manipulate, to dominate, and to survive?